And inside the locker room, everyone trying to lock in, get mentally ready for another hard-fought NBA battle. All right, everyone, greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Joined by Grant Hill and Tim Legler, this is Brian Anderson, and we'll have Ali LaForce reporting for us. A moment now to see how the schedule is shaping up for Cincinnati. On Monday, they'll go up against the Spurs in San Antonio. And then on Wednesday, they'll be taking on Nikola Jokic and the Sacramento Kings.
What a great opportunity for this team to take a step forward. They have some tough road games coming up, and that kind of stretch can bring a team together. Winning some of these games would be huge for their overall confidence.
Here's the starting group for Cincinnati. And it's Big Cat in at the 4 spot. And for the Nuggets, Jason Tatum out there with Brandon Ingram. Then it's Isaiah Joe, then it's Smith, and it's Jones in at the point. At this early stage of the season, what do you think are the most important things for teams to focus on, Lex?
Well, I think familiarity with new teammates. So you're trying to find that rhythm and flow on both ends of the floor. There's no substitute for real in-game reps, which they're getting now. And ideally, if you can win some games early, it builds confidence.
Here's the machine, following that last three-pointer by Denver. Back to man. Cincinnati working the ball around now. Offensive board. Pass to Money. Here's Little, covered by Smith. Here's Big Cat. Clock at 6. Here's the machine. Off target from outside. To the middle. Here's Tatum. That one's good on the sweet setup by Ingram.
You like the way Tatum can sliver around to get his shot.
Outside man. And just over a minute played here to start the game. Here's Money. And once again, off the mark by Cincinnati. And so it's Jones who brings up the ball for the Nuggets. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Cincinnati.
Against this team last year, they took both games. A measuring stick of the median between conferences.
And Grant David Adelman, a second-generation NBA head coach, grew up immersed in the game.
Yeah, B.A., basketball was a family obsession. David, a ball boy for the Blazers in the 90s, went on to coaching, which he's done for decades. His whole life has led him to this.
The machine, his shot is good.
And that's the first bucket of the night. Maybe that will get him going.
Jones, the pass to Smith. Now here's Jones. Back to Ingram. Pulls up. Money grabs the miss.
Couldn't quite line that one up. Just got to shake it off and move on to the next one.
Fades and shoots. Offensive rebound.
That's 20% now from the field. What a cold start.
Left side Jones. Ooh, ripped away. And they're on the break. Here's Little. Ooh, can't tie it up as that one's no good. And so it's Ingram with it. He brings it up for Denver. Outside Joe. Pass to Tatum. He hits it just before the shot clock expires. Tatum's got his second basket on the night. Cincinnati has gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Here's Money. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. He's all alone and finished off by Tatum.
That's good hustle. Tatum beating several guys up the floor, putting himself in a position to contribute.
Pass to the machine. Oh, there's the alley.
Smooth finish off a terrific feed.
Man, the timing and execution couldn't have been any better right there. The Nuggets lead by 4. Outside Jones. Outside Tatum. Drops Chips in the layup for 2. Tatum's got 8.
An outstanding first quarter from the field.
You know, Grant, for all his competitive nature, Tatum has a pretty calm demeanor. You appreciate that?
Yes, indeed. As a team leader, a father, a role model, and a professional, you can't ask for much better than Jason Tatum. He is the real deal.
Cincinnati calls timeout. The Nuggets going with a whole new group out there. And it's time to give you a look at the top three-point shooting teams from a year ago. The Nuggets third.
And last season, they were deadly from beyond the arc. A lot of great shooters on that team.
We've got 1:28 left in the first quarter here. Here's the Cobra. The 3-ball. Nails it from 3.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Here's Branham. Pass to Minot. Here's Powell. 4-3. And it's Little with a rebound. Floats one up. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Cincinnati shooting their first free throws of the evening. First free throw is good. Brandon Ingram is checked in for Minot. And he makes both free throws.
And one of the responsibilities with being a great player is making free throws.
Branham passes to Powell. Here's Ingram. Gets hauled in by Cincinnati. 35 seconds left to play in the first. Cincinnati working the ball around now. Let's go with a 3. Oh, he missed it, making him 1 for 2 now. Denver in the lead. G with a rebound.
Well, you got to miss sometimes, but that one seemed like a gimme.
Pass to the Cobra. And so it's Jason Tatum making highlights for the Nuggets. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. We'll be right back after this word. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And before we move on, what have you guys seen from Denver?
You can really see the strategy coming in. Get the ball into the painted area.
And that's where their advantage is. Throw the ball inside, make it difficult for the defense to make some decisions.
On the court for Cincinnati. And it's the Cobra in at the 2-guard. And here's Ingram from the arc. On target from range. Ingram's got his second bucket of the night.
That's really nice timing on that release that time by Ingram. He was shot ready.
Pass to Mr. Moves. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Garbage Man. Releases. Rebounded by Branham. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute of play. Now here's Powell. Defense right on him. Here they come with numbers in transition. Here's Mr. Moves. Still no points. And Grant, when talking about certain players, we hear expressions like, he does the little things, or he does the dirty work. What does all that mean exactly?
You know, it's about what doesn't show up in the box score. Setting good screens, winning those 50-50 balls, hustling back on defense. Often, it's just as important as putting up those points.
So David Adelman's decided to call timeout here. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Denver making a change here. Tatum's checked in, and Cincinnati making a change here. On defense, Cincinnati. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. Ingram on the wing. Sinks his third bucket. He's 3 for 6 now.
And few guys in this league make more contested, difficult shots than Brandon Ingram. He's got so much confidence.
And going back to high school in North Carolina, 4 state championships for Brandon Ingram, Tim.
Yeah, Brian, he made a name for himself early as the number 2 pick in 2016. He was an all-star and then most improved in 2020. The question is, can he get back to winning at the highest level?
The Nuggets lead by 4. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thank you, Brian. Jason Tatum keeping the main thing. He said there are players that get caught up in the lifestyle and they choose that over the game. The money is a plus, yes, but I truly love the game because I love basketball, not for the things that come with it. Guys?
You'd love to hear it. Allie, thanks very much for the report. And Cincinnati has possession following that last three-pointer by Denver. Pass to the waiter. Shot clock at 5. The 3 is up. Shot by the machine, no good. Denver's gone 3 of 5 from the perimeter in this game. Powell passes to Barlow. Denver moving it around. And here's Ingram outside. That shot, no good. Cincinnati has gone 0 for 3 from deep to begin the second. Pass to the waiter. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. And once again, off the mark by Cincinnati. Denver leading by 7. Now here's Tatum. And it's good. Fought through contact, hit the shot, and will go to the line. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Denver.
Well, we're in the era of the three-point basket. So if you want to win games in this league, you have to connect from deep, and they have been thus far.
And another thing they've done consistently well is attack the paint. They have stayed aggressive under the hoop and gotten high percentage looks.
That free throw, good from Ingram.
And honestly, the one thing that's held Brandon Ingram back is health. And at this stage of his career, if he is able to play, he is going to be a huge factor.
Cincinnati calls timeout. And as the coaches draw up their strategies, the players staying hydrated with some Gatorade. That's key to keeping them at their best all the way up to the buzzer.
It really is. And every one of those players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
He's checked in for the Nuggets. Looking at last year, here were the players that led the way in terms of overall scoring. Jason Tatum, fourth.
This is a guy who never took a night off. You look at his numbers and you know that he put in a tremendous effort every single game.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Pass to the machine. The shot to stop the run. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Denver leading by 10. Right side Joe. Here's Tatum. The baseline J is on the way. And they pick up 2. Tatum's got 13.
And you'd think their lead would hold as long as they continue to shoot like this.
And that one's good, man.
This team looks to him to score the ball. They feel good when he's taking the shots.
Tatum feeling it out a bit. Powell outside. Pulls up on the wing. It's hauled in by Cincinnati.
Well, that's a shot he should make a majority of the time.
Outside man. Pass to Money. Doesn't go that time. Tatum with some nice D. To the inside. Hey, Tatum getting it done inside.
You're calling Tatum a capable scorer would be an understatement. He is an elite offensive talent.
Pass to the machine. Doubled by Joe. Here's Big Cat. Oh, he tries a 3. Powell pulls it in. Tatum inside. That's good. And it's Jones with the assist. 17 points for Jason Tatum.
Adds to their lead. They've been able to rely on him all night.
They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
Shot is up. And once again, off the mark by Cincinnati.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Joe up and in on the layup.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Any hope of coming back to win this game looks near impossible.
I know. The way things have gone so far, hard to imagine.
Pass to Big Cat from deep. He can't get it to go. And so it's Denver in control with a 16-point advantage heading into the break. The hustle they've shown on defense has been tremendous. More 2K action in just a moment.
Welcome to the halftime show. And if they're going to turn this around, it's going to be a long road back.
They have to lock it down defensively. Giving up great shots is a great way to lose a game.
And if you're disruptive at that end, it creates transition offense. I'm telling you, that's where you get the easy looks.
And now let's take a glimpse at some of the games on the upcoming schedule.
Well, right now for the Nuggets, they started the season on a high note. Now they look to improve to 2-0.
Yeah, they look strong in that first matchup. Played with a lot of energy. We'll see if it carries over into this one.
And that'll do it for us. Thanks for stopping by. We'll head back down to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the third quarter.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And you know, Jason Tatum, he's been really making it happen, guys.
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
And that will be the biggest adjustment. They have to force the ball out of his hands, but that's a difficult challenge.
And Cincinnati has possession. It's a 16-point game. That'll be the second of 2 games on the road. Brandon Ingram out there with Jason Tatum. Then it's Trey Jones. Then it's Isaiah Joe. And it's Smith in at the 5. That's the group in the game for the Nuggets. Pass to the machine. Shot clock at 6. Jones comes with a double team. Here's Little. And they'll turn it over. Couldn't get the shot off. A shot clock violation. The Nuggets lead by 16. Outside Joe. And when we talk about NBA wings, Legs, what are the most important skills in your mind?
Well, everybody's going to talk about scoring and also being able to defend your position. But for me, to become an elite wing, you also have to be able to create, add that escapability with your handle.
Here's Money, following that last three-pointer by Denver. Just 4 to shoot. Cincinnati needs to get off a shot. The Machine, his shot is good. The Machine's got his second bucket on the night.
These teams are finding the range, showing a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he was so ready to answer that. These teams are just battling.
Now here's Tatum. He's got 17. Takes a 3. And it's Little with a rebound. Little's got 4 rebounds now. Driving in. Good. Money's gotten his first basket of the night.
We've all fallen in love with the three-point shot, but that is how the game was designed to be played. Down low, get close, open looks.
Now here's Tatum. And Big Cat pulls it down.
Aggressive mindset, but the defender just as determined to send him away empty-handed.
Here's the Machine. From outside, off the mark.
Yeah, just hasn't been able to find his rhythm offensively, and that's having a ripple effect.
Here's the pick. Jones from outside. He can't hit that time.
Yeah, just 25% to start this half. They're going to have to start getting higher percentage shots.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Here's Little. No good with the triple. And Tatum's got the ball here for the Denver Nuggets. Earlier in the game, they led by 19. Sends it home from three-point land. Tatum's got 20.
Great rhythm to that shot. Tatum right off the pass.
It's good.
He knew exactly where his man was going to be. Outstanding lead pass.
And David Adelman wants a timeout. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. And here we have last season's best free throw shooting teams.
Now, we all know that getting to the free throw line is so vital in today's game. I mean, you get the freebies, plus you put your opponents in foul trouble.
Three minutes gone now in the third quarter. And that one goes. Now 10 for 13 on the night.
And sometimes you forget how long Tatum is, and he's terrific at using this to his advantage inside.
Cincinnati calls timeout. Cincinnati making a change here. Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Here's the Cobra. 5 points in the game. And once again, off the mark by Cincinnati.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
And that one drops. Joe's got his third basket on the night right there.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
The Nuggets lead by 19 to the paint. Pass to Jones. There's the three. The rebound by Mann. For Cincinnati, they've gone 3 of 7 here in this third quarter. Cincinnati working the ball around now. Here's Money, defended by Jones. 6 to shoot. Pass to Big Cat. Hey, from beyond the arc. They get the rebound. The Cobra. And he makes it on the layup. The Cobra's got 7.
Have to take care of the defensive boards better than that.
Well, you see this all too often. The effort has to be there first.
Now here's Ingram. 11 points in the game. And here's Joe. Down low. Here's Tatum. And finished off by Tatum.
And so much power out of Tatum. Look at the elevation.
For Cincinnati, they've gone 4 of 9 in the third quarter. Pass to the Cobra. 43 seconds left in the third. Here's Big Cat. It's Little on the wing. Here's the Cobra, defended by Jones. The Cobra can't hit.
Struggling to get it going out there right now. I think he's pressing just a little bit too much.
Oh, the dunk by Smith.
You know, he's smaller for the center position by NBA standards, but his leaping ability more than makes up for his lack of height.
Here's the Cobra. 7 points in the game. There's a screen from the arc. That one no good. And as we conclude the third, pretty much a blowout here. It's been a one-sided affair. It's Denver delivering the blowout. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling here on 2K Sports. And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for Cincinnati. And it's the Cobra in at the 2 spot. Here's Branham. To the middle. Here's Barlow. And he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
Well, he led his teammate and hit him in stride. You really can't do it any better than that.
The Cobra passes to Garbage Man. To the inside. Right wing. Pass to the Cobra. And there's the screen. Tries it from the top of the key. Rebound by the Nuggets. Ingram's got 5 rebounds in the game. Branham passes to Powell. Lets it go. Again, Denver scores. Tim, you graduated with an MBA from an elite business school. How has that impacted how you look at the NBA?
Well, it certainly gives you a look at how the business side of things are impacted in the NBA and a real grasp of the numbers. And man, oh man, are those numbers big at this level.
Now here's Ingram. Pass to Branham. Now here's Fontecchio. Here's Barlow. Here's Powell. Puts up a deep 3. The waiter with a rebound.
And they're winning this game despite his difficulties at the offensive end.
Here's Garbage Man. Pass to the waiter. Uses the glass to finish the layup. The waiter's gotten his first points in this one.
That's the right pass to make. Beautiful job.
And so David Adelman calls for the timeout. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Fontecchio. And Cincinnati will go for a different look here. Here's Barlow, pass to Branham. Denver moving it around. 4 on the clock. For 3, Powell. It's hauled in by Cincinnati.
And even though he couldn't send the shot back at him, he certainly altered it.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
Here's the machine. Up again. Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
He really gets in perfect position for the follow. Just a terrific read.
Ingram finds Tatum. Three-pointer off the mark. For Cincinnati, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field in this final quarter. To the wing on the left. There's a screen. Pass to man. Over Ingram. And it's Jason Tatum with a rebound. Tatum's got his 7th rebound here tonight. To the paint. Here's Branham. It's Powell on the wing. Ingram deciding where to go with it. Great D that time from Mann. Well, Cincinnati shooting only 29% in this one. Not great. Money passed a little. Inside. Here's the machine. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. And we've got a timeout from David Adelman. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. Different look for Denver. Smith, he's checked in for Barlow. Joe comes in for Norm Powell. And it's Jones in for Branham. And it's Tatum with the ball for Denver. So far in the 4th, they've allowed just 6 points. Joe on the wing. And here's Ingram outside. And again, it's Denver missing.
I'm surprised he missed that one. He is a dangerous guy to leave open.
Outside Little. Lets a 3 fly. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. And there's 1:38 left in the 4th. Outside Joe. Now here's Ingram. Pass to Smith to snap the cold streak. The rebound by Mann. Cincinnati has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the 4th quarter.
And this one hasn't been in doubt for a bit now. They came out on a mission, and you can bag up this win for the Nuggets.
Offensively, they made the most of their trips.
They found multiple ways to score consistently, and a little luck doesn't hurt them either. They also got some nice bounces off the rim tonight, too.
And this one concludes with their 2nd victory of the year.
And against a non-conference opponent, you really want to win the first one. They'll go into the next one knowing how to beat this team for sure.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Jason Tatum.
Anytime they needed a bucket, they'd put the ball in his hands and say, go make a play. It was impressive to watch.
It's money from deep. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Smith. Fires the 3. Oh, it's off. Here's Money. And there's a pick. Banks it home. Big shot. Here's Tatum.
Number 13.
So no problem for Denver as they get the win. A competitive game. You have to feel like this crowd gave them a little extra edge.
Yeah, they really fed off the energy. You saw their activity level go up. Just a tremendous performance.
All right, to Allie LaForce with our player of the game.
Thank you. I'm here with Jason Tatum. And Jason, congratulations on the win. What did you like about this team's performance tonight?
Our toughness. And, you know, we figuring it out. It's early, but we taking it game by game, quarter by quarter, and everybody contributing. So, you know, I like it.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, Allie, thanks. Great stuff there. And that'll do it, folks. With Tim Legler, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson. As always, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. And now let's take a look at our player of the game, Jason Tatum.
You going against the guys and you gonna lose time. The God,